Hi, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and I am here today to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Food Chain Magnate. Food Chain Magnate is a game about running a fast food franchise essentially. It has this 50s theme to it, and it's a very heavy Euro game with a lot of interesting choices, a lot of information on the table, and I had a good time playing it. And I wanted to talk about my favorite mechanism. Obviously, that's what I'm here for. In Food Chain Magnate, you are hiring workers that are cards. They're not meeples. They're little cards with different abilities. You're hiring these people, and sometimes you're training them to become better at their jobs. And when you do that, you replace the old card with the new card. Like you might take a pizza cook and turn them into a pizza chef, that type of thing, where you're upgrading. But the really cool thing about these cards is that every turn in Food Chain Magnate, or every round really, you decide which of your workers that you actually want to use that round, and you essentially create a tech tree using those workers. By tech tree, I mean you're taking one ability and you're enhancing it into something else. And really, it's almost visually, it looks like a tech tree. It's not the traditional tech tree is that you have a technology and then it splits into a few different paths and you choose the path you want to take, and that splits into two more paths, you choose that path. This is a little different because it looks like a corporate structure. You have a CEO card at the top, and then under that CEO are three different workers. And one of those workers might also be able to have more workers under their supervision as well. And so then below them you have two or three or one or zero more workers as well. And every round you are determining this configuration based off of all the cards in your deck. So it feels a little bit like deck building, but deck building where every round you get to look at your entire deck and choose the cards that you want to play. I really, really like this mechanism. It's very satisfying to look at the little tree. It's kind of a tech tree, looking at this tech tree that you've built just for that one specific round, to see what's best for that round. Like, is this a round where you want to hire more people, where you want to train people? Maybe this is the round where you really want to make a lot of pizza, or where you want to advertise. And so you're making these choices ahead of time. So there's some planning. You have to look at all the things that could happen that round. But then there's a great moment where you flip over all your cards and you get to look at this very satisfying corporate structure that you've created just for that round of the game. And I think that's the thing that I really like about it in particular, that you're not creating one corporate structure and then growing that same exact thing from round to round. It's that every round you're taking all those cards back and you're deciding the corporate structure that works best for you that particular round. That's really interesting to me. And also just in general, I really like the idea of having cards with different abilities that you activate. It's essentially action selection. These are different actions that you're deciding to take in any given round. And there's just something satisfying about that tech tree look about it that I'd like to see in other games. That's the thing in Food Chain Magnate that I'd really like to see in other games. Having that idea of workers or actions or special abilities, and then branching that into a tree format, and then deciding every round how to activate them. Or maybe even to have like chains of activations, combos essentially, where you activate one and then that one pings down to all the other ones below it. That would be cool to see. I'd enjoy that. So if you can think of any other games that use this unique mechanism, I don't think I've seen it in another game, but it might be out there. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you have a favorite game mechanism in Food Chain Magnate, I'd love to hear about that as well. Thanks.